Transfer market, big money can't buy good stuff. When a club pays a hefty fee to sign a world-class player or talent in the transfer market, it creates great excitement and anticipation. However, not always spending big money is proportional to the quality of income. If we look at the list of the top 10 most expensive transfers in football of all time, we will surely feel guilty because most of them are full of disappointments. Even some players are rated as disastrous signings. Disaster. Let's take a look. Neymar, from Barca to PSG, Kylian Mbappé, from Monaco to PSG, Philippe Coutinho, from Liverpool to Barca, Jack Grealish, from Aston Villa to Man City, Ousmane Dembele, from Dortmund to Barca, Eden Hazard, from Chelsea to Real, João Felix, from Benfica to Atletico, Antoine Griezmann, from Atletico to Barca, Romelu Lukaku, from Inter to Chelsea, and Cristiano Ronaldo, from Real to Juventus. To be fair, in the 10 blockbuster deals mentioned above, only Mbappé is successful. The rest have few disappointing people, many people, and even the worst contracts in history. Felix was at Atletico and was recently loaned to Chelsea. Lukaku returned to Chelsea from Inter but only stayed for one season. Lukaku's countryman Hazard is not to be discussed, when he is considered a debt of Real. Meanwhile, Barca has 3 forgettable names including Coutinho, Griezmann, and Dembele. Felix's case is perhaps the most typical, because Atletico spent a lot of money to bring the Portuguese striker from Benfica to Spain. With a mountain of money on his shoulders, the 23-year-old star has so far stagnated, even regressing despite the huge expectations for him. In cases like this, there are usually 2 problems: either the player has not adapted to the new environment, or the club has not been successful in helping him find that environment. Victor Sanchez del Amo, former head coach of Deportivo La Coruña and Real Betis, said. Behind all of this is the relationship between the player and the coach. When you go to a club, it is your responsibility to know which club you are going to. You should understand the philosophy of the team, because then you can't use that as an excuse, because when you sign the contract you already know what's there. In the case of João Felix, the philosophy is very clear. In others, sometimes it is not so clear. There seems to be something missing with this contract from both sides. Gregorio Manzano, who knows Atletico well during his time in charge of this team, also discusses Felix's example. Maybe it's the transfer fee that's wrong. They say something is worth the money you're willing to pay for it, but perhaps there are players, who haven't shown anything outstanding before, who do. Exorbitant valuations. That is the case with João Felix and a number of recent Real Madrid signings. Such fees are a double-edged sword. With this level of expenditure, it must be depreciated over many years to understand. Sometimes it deserves and pays off, but as you can see in these cases, sometimes it doesn't. There is no magic wand because there are many variables and each case is unique. Francisco Torreblanca, a marketing expert and professor at a famous university, presented another theory as to why João Felix didn't live up to expectations. There's a theory in economics called the money illusion. It's the kind of thing you feel like you're going to get rich because you've achieved an ability or status in record time, he said. But when you step up, you will have more pressure, less experience, and you will always be called because you are new to the market. You can stand out in a particular field with specific variables, but then you move on to another and think you're going to win, too. However, that fails because there are other variables. Explosive growth, as was the case with João Felix in Benfica, can be dangerous. Although he is very impressive, he has only played a little but not much. Miguel Martin, CEO of Sport Coach, puts it this way: being in an environment where you feel loved and comfortable is just as important as adapting to the system. And another factor is the adaptability. Be patient to develop your quality, because the higher your transfer fee, the less patience you will have.